Welcome back to the Wrestling Related Podcast, where the topics are related to wrestling and the three of us are related to each other. I'm Josh.
Dustin.
I'm Corey, and my goal is to make those two crack up.
Make us crack up. Hopefully that first loud
what
clap
I'm
didn't
doing.
catch you guys as you first started this episode, because I did not edit this at all, and that may have peaked the volume. We will find out.
There you go.
Corey could just sit there and we'd crack up. I mean,
Maybe. Hey, today we're recording this. This is January 1st, 2025, and that means we have entered a new era in professional wrestling. A new era. Even though WWE, they had the WWE Network for a long time, this is the streaming era. This, starting tonight, AEW Dynamite is streaming on Max. And all AEW programming going forward will be streaming on Max, including pay-per-views at some point this year that we haven't been told exactly what that means and how much that will cost. In addition to our
shows
and past shows, yes, which are also going to be uploaded, I believe. I haven't even checked.
How old is AEW?
5 years, 2019.
Way easier to play catch up from the beginning on them than it would be for the Fed.
Correct. Now, as far as the Fed goes, and this was something I was pulling up just a moment ago because I was trying to see if it was on there. Yeah. So I pulled up my VPN. You guys are not going to be able to see this because I think of the screen brightness and whatnot. But
be descriptive.
Maybe
use your words.
No.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. You see that? WWE Live and upcoming, the WWE Collection is on there. And Raw, January 6th, 2 a.m. Central European Time, will be there. What that means is Monday Night Raw here in the U.S. But as far as the Netherlands go, the WWE Collection is already up and available, and there is the best of Raw, and there is the best of SmackDown, and the best of NXT, and I see No Way Out, 2000, 2001, 98,
wow.
99 Backlash, Royal Rumble from 2016, WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 40.
Skip 2 and 3.
Like SummerSlam 92, which that was SummerSlam 92 was in Wembley, wasn't it?
I think so.
So it's like we've got a bunch of WWE content already live on Netflix, and Raw starts streaming worldwide next Monday. SmackDown, NXT, and all PLEs start streaming internationally starting next week.
Those of us in the U.S. that still have the Peacock network, which is only like $6 or $5 or whatever, still has access to all of it.
Yep. But if you've got a VPN, I guess you don't need the Peacock network anymore.
So my question is, and I guess the question of my question
Unless you
of
like
the
watching
year.
The old stuff.
My question
of the year so far.
If they, and we'll find out tonight, if they are streaming, let me center myself up here.
Correct.
If they are streaming,
I hope so.
My question is,
I know what you're saying.
Are they skipping through commercials?
I hope so.
They didn't.
I read somewhere. No.
Okay, hold on. Corey, you didn't experience this. Josh and I did. When you were on VPN at one point and you were watching Dynamite over in Netherlands or Amsterdam or wherever, they skipped the commercials. And the commentators were still there talking through the commercial. They're like, and we're going to go picture in picture. We'll be right back.
And that is where you get Taz making all sorts of crazy comments. Hilarious. And just joking and left and right, and it was comedy gold.
Not a timeout. I got to fill up my jug.
Nope.
They just kept going.
It was so fun.
It was hilarious. Yeah, if you're ever watching Botchamania, where they have the what is it, like the insipid Taz comments, those typically are coming from those commercial breaks, and it's hilarious. It's just so funny.
Okay, another question. I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw stuff out there.
Sure.
With streaming, now that Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor as well, are they doing any Ring of Honors on Max, or is that just on the Ring of Honor Club?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. My understanding is that Ring of Honor is not part of this deal.
Yet.
My understanding is that all of the Ring of Honor shows
on negotiations.
Yes. My understanding is all of Ring of Honor shows and pay-per-views moving forward will still be on Honor Club. And what that means moving forward, I don't know. There was talks about maybe they were trying to get Ring of Honor in a television, on streaming and broadcast television as well. So I don't know. I think that was also part of the reason of the Nueve. Let's try to create a little extra stock and leverage, for this, right, and then see what happens.
Leverage a name.
And I think what with Max, what HBO Max, WBD, what they're doing with this, I think is looking and saying, how is this going to play out? And what's it going to look like? And what's
the viewership going to be?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They have been happy with viewership already, just because of the limited stuff that AEW already did have, and also the streaming numbers that they were able to see, from some of the back end stuff. But I have a feeling it's a matter of time.
Here's my question. Get you guys' opinion.
Okay.
What is the likelihood that Raw and WWE and all these wrestling avenues being on Netflix will increase some probability for a heel season 3?
Oh.
I heard it's already in the works, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought I heard a rumor or something about that.
Yeah.
As of a couple weeks ago, Amel was like, he was interviewed on CBV or something like that, and he's like,
he's kayfabing.
But he's also got his Suits LA starting up.
I think
around Super Bowl.
I think what we're more likely to see, and this was a statement I believe that Cody Rhodes had mentioned, is more crossover, and not crossover that the wrestling purist will actually enjoy, but crossovers that the casual fans will enjoy. I see them, which WWE has always done that. They've grabbed, just pulled people from pop culture left and right.
What?
I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
Cyndi Lauper? What?
WWE.
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. So I see a lot more of that happening, especially with WWE. At the same time, you've got AEW bringing the Costco guys in, so it's like there's some random stuff here and there.
No, it's not the same.
That's not even close.
Nowhere in the vicinity of the same.
They could have done without
you
the boom and it would have been
reaching
fine.
So far outside the wheelhouse. That's not
Costco guys, not the similar to crossovers WWE has done. Logan Paul, what?
Yeah, you're saying the Costco guys that I've never heard of until they were on AEW.
Well, you're 50.
Have anything to do with? Yeah, yet I still know who Logan Paul is.
Because you're 50. I know teenagers. Teens and 20-year-olds that have no idea what Logan Paul is doing. The only thing they know about Logan Paul was something from Japan, but yet they know who the Costco guys are.
With no buying power and no interest in doing anything outside of social media. They don't even pay for Netflix.
No,
So,
but they have access to mommy and
forget
daddy's
about it.
credit cards, and they buy all sorts of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
The generation now, like the younger generation, is not like
We're
our
not getting into a
generation.
discussion.
Not even close.
They're not even built the same. This ain't even right.
Agreed. But unfortunately, most of our generation who has kids of those generations just let them do whatever they want and will also write blank checks for them. And that's where they wind up having
For a while.
But that's where they do have some buying power. And so it's like, it's a
But
weird,
because they know what the means, who cares?
I still don't.
Who gives a crap? You're not missing anything at all. Absolutely zip. Skibbity toilet is not even going to be a thing in a year.
I just found out what that was the other day.
You just figured this out? Yeah.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I would love to see how many like younger generation are watching this and just thinking, okay, boomers.
That's exactly what they're
there's
thinking. I am Gen X. Screw you, boomer.
Our mother was a boomer. Not a boomer. This is the generation. This is the FAFO
So back to wrestling.
generation.
Back to wrestling. The only reason I asked about the Ring of Honor was because I saw a highlight reel the other day of one match, and it was just little blips of it. I want to watch the whole thing because I got so excited. Yeah. Nigel McGuinness.
Oh yeah.
Versus Austin Aries.
Ooh, no.
Oh my gosh, it got me so excited for wrestling. I'm like, oh, that match, Aries and McGuinness was like, wow. I just want to see that match. Anyway, go ahead. Streaming.
No, I think the streaming has got. I think we're back into really more of a Wild West time of what are they actually going to do? What are they not going to do? You know, for a moment there, we were thinking that WWE was definitely going to bring back, you know, like the TVMA because they had the option. Mm-hmm. They said, no, we're not. We're going to keep it TV 14. We're not going that route. So
because it's still corporate, they still want to collect all the dollars they can. Well, there's still kid viewership, and if the kids can't watch it, the parents won't pay for it.
And I think they're also, WWE is always looking forward, and they're looking at everything they have. Every piece of content is $1. Like, that's money. And it may not, so while we've got this big streaming deal that they just signed with Netflix now, what happens when that's up? If they want to go back to an NBC with a Peacock, or if they want to go to a USA, or maybe they're the ones that go to Max. They've got to be able to provide it, and they've got to say, here's this entire library. Oh, yeah, we did have about 4 or 5 years over there with Netflix that, we pushed the envelope a little too much, so you might need to put warning labels and graphic descriptions on that. I think this is their way of saying we can use that in the future, and it's kind of future-proofing their content to make sure that it still remains family-friendly.
They already had to do some censoring from the Attitude Era.
Yep.
So, they don't want to go back and do that again.
Yeah, and
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if we just, let's face it. I've said for years that if somebody can't speak without expletive deleted, then you can't speak.
Yeah,
you can't communicate.
Yeah,
use your brain. Think of new words.
I like they're not going to be pushing it, because that was my big concern when I heard about Netflix. Is like, oh. So I'm going to stop watching Raw then. And then when they're like, no, we're not going to go that far. And it's like, okay, well then I will. I was concerned with AEW trying to do a streaming deal with Max, thinking that was going to be the same thing. But then when they're like, no, we're going to be simulcasting, so this is still going to be on TBS. Right. Then it's like, oh, okay, so I can still watch it. Like, I don't have to censor it too much knowing you guys are. Now, does that mean that what they're censoring for broadcast on TBS, is that still going to be censored on Max? Is it the same feed? Is it 2 separate feeds? That remains to be seen. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited for the streaming era, just because I think it reaches our viewing habits where we're at, rather than forcing us to go. this is your only option.
When was the last time you guys used antenna on your TV? When was the last time you guys watched the local channels?
Other than for the NFL?
Weather. That wasn't the weather.
And I don't even watch it for the weather. I only watch it because NFL's on it. If NFL wasn't on it, I wouldn't watch it. Because I don't watch. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. Once a year, I do watch a couple things from the Iowa State Fair on Iowa Public Television, and that's about it.
I do watch the Macy's Parade Thanksgiving morning. We do that every Thanksgiving. But other than that.
But apart from that, no, there's not a lot. The last time antenna,
I will watch
2004, 5, maybe 6.
Now I will watch. I will watch shows from the 3 majors, and I will watch the Macy's Day thing. But when I do that, I'm not watching it live.
No.
I'm not getting up early to start watching it. I sleep in. When I wake up, then I turn it on and I start from the beginning.
It's not early for me.
Yeah. You get up when the sun comes up. Well, it gets up over with you an hour earlier than it does for me.
Very few things do I watch live.
Right. So
when it's on.
We've all gotten into this habit of we're watching things via DVR or stream.
On demand. Yep.
It's all on demand. So that's the way it's been. So for these companies to play catch up, that's how it is. At some point in time, the major networks are going to phase out. As much as they want to be relevant, they're not.
Yeah.
And I think when you got the NFL going off to Netflix and Max and I mean all these other places, that it's like.
Yeah, now it'll be interesting to see how WWE does that, because I did see one thing that was out there. I think it was on Netflix that they had posted a little FAQ about how to stream, where to stream type of a deal. And one of the questions was, can we download episodes of Raw? And I believe it said 48 hours later. So like Netflix will let you download shows and movies that you can watch for offline viewing, but they weren't going to be available for like 48 hours.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to be with their streaming stuff, if you can actually watch it an hour or two later, or if it's going to be the next morning. Like that's the only thing that remains to be seen, how that will work. Because I know I would Peacock is horrible about that, where you try to watch it and it's like you've either got to watch it live or you have to wait until the next morning.
Spanish. Unless you speak Spanish.
Unless you speak Spanish, you can get it.
Then you can get it 15 minutes after it's done.
But I wonder if that's something because of like North American rights and with international rights. So I think some of this is just going to be waiting to find out until actually once it's going.
But let me ask you guys this. How many...
To answer his question about the download, I totally anticipate that not being an issue, because they did for the longest time did the download being just an extra tier that you had to pay for. So once you paid for an extra tier, that was something that they turned on as a feature. It didn't affect any of the streaming whatsoever. It would just be those people that are wanting to download for offline viewing. You got to wait. While the rest of us, we should be able to view right away. And who's been doing streaming longer than Netflix?
Nobody.
Dustin.
WWE.
But my question, there you go. But my question is, how many times have you guys, as well as myself, Monday Night Raw, but we don't watch it until like Thursday night because our lives are busy, or AEW Dynamite, we're not watching it until the weekend, and then we try to cram Raw, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, SmackDown, try to cram it all in before the pay-per-view, because of course we got to watch the pay-per-view. We do watch the pay-per-view live, not often, but every once in a while.
The other thing that will be interesting is when it comes to ads. So I already saw something, and I think it was actually, I think it was Netflix that it mentioned to me that, yes, you now have WWE. You'll be able to watch Raw and something else, but it's going to be through ad supported. And I pay for the highest tier of Netflix that doesn't have any ads, which now means, am I going to have to set through all of Raw without fast forwarding and skipping? And does that mean I have to watch all of the ads, like trying to watch a show on Peacock where, yeah, I can skip forward, but once I go to skip the match, if there was an ad in between there, now it stops and it makes me watch 90 seconds of ads?
Yes. So now here's something. I pay for the lowest tier of Netflix, which has the ads. However, I can download so much in a month's time. And when I download it, there are no ads.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't download.
No, I do.
I got fiber and unlimited data on my phone, so I just never try.
Well, I mean, all of my wrestling I watch on YouTube TV, so I can skip through everything because it just records it with an unlimited DVR. But I wonder how that's going to work with the streaming aspect of it and not being able to do it. So that would be also, to answer your question, who's been streaming longer than Netflix? YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the ones that have figured it out. But yeah, I wonder when it comes to the ads, what are they doing, and will they go like other platforms where they just say, hey, you can upgrade to this package, give us an extra $5 a month, and now you have no ads. Sure. Because if they do that,
I would consider
there are suckers like me that will do it. Like I was over at Mom's.
Especially if it's AEW.
Yeah, well, I was at Mom's the other day for, I don't know, it might have been Christmas Eve or something, and we're trying to put like, what was it? I don't know, put something up on TV, but it was on YouTube, and her account was logged in, and after about a minute and a half, it pops up an ad, and I was like, what's this? Since when does YouTube have ads? And then I was like, oh, I've been paying for YouTube Premium for so long, I forgot YouTube has ads. So it was like, log in with my account so I don't have to have it.
Give me money, I'll kick you in the pills. Let's go.
It was like, no. And yeah, Spotify, I pay for the top one so I don't have to listen to any of their ads. Like, I'll just, I don't care what it is. I don't want to pay for ads.
And that's just a matter of different customers.
Yeah.
And where people are putting their focus. So I totally anticipate that they'll do that and just give you various different options. And it gives them another revenue stream to be able to collect a little extra here and there to offset the fact that they paid the Fed such a huge chunk of change for all that content. And it's just a matter of, you would pay the premium and I would take that money and put it into my data speed.
Yeah.
I do want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, seeing how it is New Year's, and a lot of people have New Year's resolutions. This is kind of wrestling related as well as monthly pay related. Happy New Year! But the thing is, I have found the secret. The secret. Every year, everybody makes a New Year's resolution. They're going to lose weight. They're going to go to the gym. They're going to do this and everything. I found the secret, and that is freezing up. The secret is DDP yoga streaming. You can pay your monthly fee, let him take your money out. You don't even have to go to the gym to waste your money. You can just do that and not do DDP yoga, and it's still wrestling related. Just in case you want to lose money for the new year.
Here's my thought. As you were talking, I was like, I know where he's going with this. Dustin's secret to the New Year's resolutions.
Flush my money.
Is to make a resolution to get fatter and lazier.
That was last year.
And
that was last year's
and
resolution.
Break it. No, and break the resolution.
So the girls asked me if I was going to do a resolution. I said no, because I'm not going to lie to people. So
no, that's April Fool's, National Liars Day.
But yes, streaming, I am really looking forward to
Josh checked out.
Yeah, I checked out.
He's busy looking at if there's going to be ads on Netflix Premium for Raw. So I will say
you'll find out Monday.
Josh, this is what I was thinking of. You and I experienced the AEW without the commercials.
Yeah.
Why are we so close?
And that was when, because my back hurts and I'm sitting on a really hard chair.
Sorry, I'm teasing you.
So we've experienced that with the commercials where they say, we're going to watch picture in picture, but yet we're turning around and watching the commentators commentate even during the commercial break. And it wasn't until AEW started doing that now WWE is doing that. So now with both of them going to streaming, are we potentially, if you pay a higher fee, could that happen not only on AEW but also on WWE, where they break for commercial but you pay extra for no commercials, so now you get to still hear the commentating? And then the question is Wade Barrett as funny as Taz during the commercial break?
All of these are questions we need answers to, so Netflix needs to give us the option. Yes, Pat McAfee. Hey, Pat McAfee is that funny.
Because he and Cole are coming back.
Oh man, the Pat McAfee live is amazing. I don't watch the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. No. I've been watching it on YouTube forever. And I love when they get ready and they're calling, they're dialing people in. It's like, hey, we're going off of, ESPN. You can join us on our YouTube channel here, for the second hour or whatever. And then they run straight in. And then it's like the whole show goes off the rails at that point. It's like,
oh, yeah.
Now we don't have our F word counter anymore. It doesn't really matter. Now we can start talking about, more things that are questionable content, and it's hilarious.
And that's a guy that just shows up to Raw and he's at a party. He's not following the script. Triple H is like dropping something in his headset and he's completely ignoring it and then coming back to it like 10 minutes later.
Yep.
If not, then Cole's gonna say it.
I don't know about you guys, but I am so looking forward to this streaming era.
Yep.
I think this is going to be so good. Prove me wrong, but I don't think so.
My only concern is don't lose our option to watch some of the legacy stuff, because that's what got us here.
Well, and yes, and I hope that Netflix does do that. I know there's also there's a storage issue that Netflix has got to look at, because WWE has so much content. And that costs money to store it and to put it there for our access. But I hope they do it.
Sorry about your luck.
Even if they only do it like they've done with other shows where, hey, for the next 9 months, you get AWA content.
Yes.
And then after that, it's like, now we're pulling out WCCW. It's like, if you did that, I'm all for it.
Yes.
Just something.
Do it in cycles.
Yeah.
So there's always something new becoming available. It gives them more content to come up.
Yeah.
And then that way, at least once a year, you're going to have access to some WCW or some ECW or old AWA or what have you.
Right.
So can we place wagers on whether or not Netflix is going to crash and have the little buffering thing when Raw goes live on Monday?
I don't think they will. Because I
think they learned their lesson.
I watched wrestling on I watched NFL Christmas Day on Netflix and had no issues whatsoever.
There you go. So, and that would be a closer representation than the Tyson thing.
So
and Triple H was saying after the Tyson thing, they asked him about the buffering thing if he was concerned, and he's like. I hope we get that much viewership that we can make it buffer.
Right. 80 million, whatever it was, is like, we like that idea.
Join.
So here's the big question. Okay, so we have WWE has a streaming deal with Netflix.
Yep.
AEW has a streaming deal with Max.
Yep.
Right.
Which promotion is going to get the next streaming deal, and on what platform do we think it'll be? Like, is it going to be TNA? Is it going to be Ring of Honor? Is it going to be MLW? Could we wind up getting, I don't know, maybe CMLL, AAA, New Japan, Noah.
I can see New Japan. I can see New Japan.
I can see New Japan.
Yeah.
I actually heard rumors that New Japan was in talks with somebody. I can't remember what it was, but this was like 6 months ago.
I would have loved if, when AEW was doing this and working out this deal,
if they
they would have their partners, CMLL and New Japan, and said, "Hey, let's bring all of us under and let's provide this now." And maybe they did, and it's just, let's see how this goes, and then we'll bring in Ring of Honor, then we'll bring in New Japan, then we'll bring in CMLL.
And maybe it's something, with Max saying, "You know what? Let's see how this goes for a year, and then maybe we'll do more."
Yeah,
if it's beneficial.
I kind of could see TNA being the next one that gets the streaming deal, and I could see them actually getting the streaming deal with Peacock, because of that little partnership that they've been having with WWE, and WWE saying, "Hey, we're going over here. We're still working with you with Saturday night's Main Event, but we do have one of our other partners that has something that might be up your alley."
That might fill in the blanks over here for you.
I mean, I know MLW was really close. I think it was on, it was one of the free ones, like, was it Crackle or something like that? No, it's another one that NBC has rights to, but it's a free one, maybe like Freevee or something that you can get on the Roku channel. And
Freevee would be Prime.
Okay. And I don't remember which one it was.
Maybe it was Crackle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember. It was one of the free streaming platforms that MLW, they had an agreement with them, and they had done like one episode, but then WWE found out about it and said, "Oh yeah, that's not happening," and called NBC and said, "Shut it down right now." And so they shut it down, and that was the MLW lawsuit against WWE, which I believe MLW won or settled outside of court, whatever.
Settled is not a win.
Yeah. So
ask Ted Turner.
I could see MLW. Like I could see either TNA, MLW, or Ring of Honor doing it. I don't see Ring of Honor going anywhere other than just Max. That one I can't see. But I could see TNA or MLW going to
Peacock,
somebody else. I could see Prime really wanting to get into the wrestling business. And if they were there, I could see Prime jumping on with like New Japan really quick.
Prime does have a couple Fed programming shows. I don't see any of them going to like a Hulu, but I also see Hulu going bye-bye in the next 5.
Yeah.
Hulu's the only one carrying ABC.
It's all on Disney. It's all on Disney anyways, so.
Yeah, but I think Disney's trying to just move everything over to Hulu.
Right.
Either way, make it one.
Right.
There's no reason I should have the same show in 2 different watch lists.
Yep.
Well, speaking of streaming, it is January 1, and we have AEW coming on here. Well, for me, in just a few hours.
Yep.
So,
a couple hours. So, looks like I'll get to stream it on Max and see how well that goes, and hopefully we don't have any commercials. And
I will do it live.
Taz comments.
Test drive it live on there.
Because he is back. Love that Taz is back.
Yep. Taz is back, and and also we barely mentioned this in the last episode, but Kenny Omega.
Rated FTR. Oh yeah, Kenny Omega.
Kenny's back. So
at least as a VP.
Has he had his EVP?
Yep,
whatever. Something like that.
Executive Vice President. Has he had his match over in New Japan yet?
No, I think that's this weekend, if I remember right. Something like that. What is it? Wrestle Dynasty with Gabe Kidd. So I believe that's when it was. Wrestle Dynasty 2025, January 5th. So
Sunday. Okay.
Yep. So like 2 a.m. our time, something like that. But all right, well, that's all we've got for this episode. If you guys have got other topics you want us to talk about this new year here on the Wrestling Related Podcast, let us know in the comments. Make sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a share, a rating, a review, all of the things that do all of the things. And we'll catch you in the next episode.